Welcome everyone, I'm here for another Modern deck tech with Gold Pro Lukas Blohon. Lukas, this is the first Modern Pro Tour in 2 years. What were you looking to play and how did your preparation look like?
So I started playing League on Magic Online with pretty much every deck that is there. And after a while I realized that I really want to play with this card spell, with Inquisition of Kozilek, Thoughtseize, and Liliana of the Veil.
That means Abzan or Jan?
Yeah, Abzan, Jan. But then I saw this deck from Mark Tobias that he played in Grand Prix Las Vegas. So I gave it a try, changed it a bit, and just played with that from that on.
And what is that deck, Lukas?
It's Esper, Goryo's Vengeance.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. Let's take a look at some of the cards. You mentioned that you wanted to play Inquisition of Kozilek and Thoughtseize. Now these cards, you could think that this is actually Grixis Death Shadow, but it's not. You're playing Esper.
Yes. Yeah, it just starts that you want to have a lot of interaction for 1 mana. So 40 Thoughtseize, free Inquisition. Thoughtseize is better in this deck because you can play it on yourself as well, but we'll get to that later. And some library manipulation spells. Serum Visions is the best of those, and Thoughtscour is pretty good in the deck because you use your graveyard a lot.
We'll see why Thoughtscour is so valuable. We'll go to the next graphic actually. Now this is interesting. We know Liliana of the Veil, it's a mainstay in Thoughtseize decks. Collective Brutality, I understand. Jace Vryn's Prodigy. This is the first card. Of course, it's clearly powerful, but why are you playing it in Modern?
So, the most important part about Jace is that it's a great card for 2 mana, but when it gets answered by 1 mana spells, it's not that great, right? But you
Fatal
have
Push.
Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, but you have Goryo's Vengeance in your deck, and Jace works really well with it.
Okay, maybe we should walk the viewers through this. Now, I have a Jace in play, and I could maybe activate it. My opponent Fatal Pushes before I can flip it. Now, if I cast Goryo's Vengeance, it comes back, but it comes back just for a turn. So what do I do with it?
So if you have Jace in your graveyard, and you play Goryo's Vengeance on it, then you loot with your Jace, and you have at least 4 cards in your graveyard. The Jace will flip into a Planeswalker, and then it will no longer need to be sacrificed at the end of the turn.
So, Lukas, you are actually basically abusing a rules interaction that your transformed Planeswalker will not be sacrificed to the effect of Goryo's Vengeance.
Yes, exactly. So that interaction is very important for like grinding games against decks with a lot of removal, because you'll play your Jace, they pretty much have to kill it, because otherwise it'll transform and it's hard to deal, and it will provide more card advantage. But if they do, you can just Goryo's Vengeance it and bring it back.
Awesome. Let's go to the next graphic, because this is kind of the real package. Jace was only the beginning. We talked already about Goryo's Vengeance. Get back a legendary creature card from your graveyard. It gets haste, but it has to be removed at the end of the turn. Now, Griselbrand, we know this also from Legacy or Reanimator decks. I want to talk about Obzedat Ghost Council. Why are you playing this card, and is there maybe something tricky with that as well?
Yes, there is. The reason why Obzedat is a 4-of in this deck and why is it so good is because it works so well with Goryo's Vengeance. So Obzedat has this text of line that at the beginning of your end step, you may exile it. So if you return it with Goryo's Vengeance, at end of turn, you can exile it to his own ability. You don't have to sacrifice it, and it gets exiled. And then there's nothing to sacrifice for the Goryo's Vengeance.
So it will come back and be a huge pain for example, for a control deck or any deck.
Yes, exactly. Just for, you basically get a discount for it. Instead of 5 mana, you pay 2 and get haste, so it immediately attacks.
You might be the only player at this tournament playing 5 mana creatures. I haven't seen any other expensive
That's possible. That's definitely true.
So that's actually the combo. You have Jaces, you have 4 Obzedat, and you have Griselbrand.
Yeah, the Griselbrand, it's like, I would like to have 5 creatures. I would, at best, would be having 5 Obzedats, but it's not possible. So I have 1 Griselbrand, and it's actually, in some matchups, it's just better, because sometimes Obzedat is not good enough, and Griselbrand is very good.
Well, sometimes you just have to gain 7 life or draw 7 cards, or both.
Yes.
Let's go to the next graphic. I think this is relatively self-explanatory. Fatal Push, Murderous Cut is your removal package, and Tassigo the Golden Fang. Now you do a bit of delving as well.
Yes, it's like I said, the deck works really well with Graveyard. You have Thoughtscour, you have a lot of 1 mana spells. So Tassigo, it's just a good magic card. It's just 1 mana for 5, and you know every damage matters with the Obzedat, so it makes the clock one turn.
Of course, casting cost 6, immune to fatal push, very relevant in this format.
Yes, that's for sure.
So let's go to the next graphic. This is your mana base, and I think this is a relatively traditional Esper mana base.
Oh yeah, just fetch lands and dual lands to go with it, with some fast lands, as we'll see.
But you're not playing Death Shadow, so you're not trying to damage yourself.
No, it's just to fix my mana base.
Okay, final graphic, basic lands. So we have 3 Darkling Shores, Seachrome Coast, often untapped, I would guess. Now talk to us about basics. 4 basics is quite a lot for a modern deck.
It is, but nowadays a lot of decks play Path to Exile, Field of Ruin, or even Blood Moon. So just having basic lands is really nice. And against some decks, you don't want to damage yourself very much with your fetch lands, so you want to grab basic lands.
Yeah, it sounds like a great metagame choice, because you are facing a lot of aggro decks at this tournament, but also some of the control decks are packing Blood Moons, like the blue-red decks.
True.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. This was Esper Goryo's Vengeance with Lukas Blohon. I'm Simon Gertzen. We'll be back with more results from Pro Tour Rivals of Ixalan.